Pacing through my crib, chillin', had to ask myself, I know what's worth it, but who are I when I need some help? Was blowing wood back to back, thinking to myself, told I I'm done with pain, it's time to heal myself. So I had to believe in me and go hard, cause who else? Left a part of me in the past, I'm seeing visions as well. To the bitches who scar me again, I'm thanking you for the help, but I can't let that pain did keep me just like a belt. I'm a distant before one and I ain't making it up. Mama cooking without a stove and I ain't making it up. See, this the shit I'm thinking about when I'm cooking it up. Withdrawals from love for people who can fuck with the truck. Still remember them cold days, I used to hop on the bus. Got rid of them old ways, but I left where I'm from. On the corners and van over, we was hustling drugs. But them niggas do anything just to fuck with the blood. I can't lie, so these niggas can't kill me. I can't lie, no, these bitches can't heal me. So you niggas gonna feel me. Then I gotta have it. Banded up, bandy. Put your hands up, bandana, hand tatty. See it, I grab it. I'm set on automatic. Shoebox stashing. Diamonds on me flashing. Show me where that cash and I'm dashing. I'm mashing. So inappropriate, I had to flag it. She was waving kitty in my face, I had to smash it. Got me waving 20s in her face while she dancing. Kill it, Charles Manson. High nigga eating in a famine. Now I live a life you can't imagine. I'm all about expansion. I'm passing. You can hear me laughing. From the top floor of my mansion, you get the top floor of my passion. With the top floor, I'm in the attic. Far above the static. Fuck you if you thinking I ain't got it. I'm shooting when I spotted it. I ain't gotta run in any pockets to stop it. I can't die, so you niggas can't kill me. I can't die, you bitches can't heal me more. So you niggas don't feel me. I'm still really real me. So you niggas can't kill me. I can't die, you bitches can't heal me. So you niggas don't feel me. Still really real me. It's the grandson of right thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light, little flock. Go into your Bibles to the book of, let's see, the book of Exodus, chapter 14, and we're going to start there. Now, little flock, as the grandson has been telling you guys here at the School of Marvelous Light, Abba is teaching his children a new way of living, a new way of life. I can't really say a new way of living because the old way was actually death. The wages of sin are death. So when you do your job, you may work all week or maybe bi-weekly, and then you get your check. So imagine you work for 2 weeks, and at the end of those 2 weeks, you get your check and it says death on it. You're like, if had I known that this was going to be my payment, I wouldn't have labored all damn week long in vain, you see? And as I've always told you guys, Abba says that those who labor, labor in vain. When you're in the carnal mind, all the work that you do is useless. Okay? It's useless. It's pointless. It's no point in even putting your hand forth to do it because it's not going to get you any reward other than death. You see what I'm saying to you? So we're learning a new way. You see? We're resurrected. Remember, The second Adam, who is Yahusha, came a quickening spirit. That means a life-giving spirit, little flock. You see that? He brings you back to life again because you were dead in your sins. People like to think that death is when you go down into the grave 6 feet under the ground and shit. There's some lady singing some sad ass song and everything. Your mom is like hanging on to the casket and everything. Look, that's some carnal idea of death, man. To be dead is to be dead in sin, to be in the carnal mind. That's what it means. You're not doing anything of any value. So that's what a dead person is. A dead person doesn't have any profitability. You see what I'm saying? So then when you're in your carnal mind, you don't have any profitability. Now let's see if the scriptures say this. The flesh profiteth. See, it's actually that exact word. The flesh profiteth nothing. But, see, there's an alternative, little flock. Don't y'all want the alternative? If death is one side, don't you automatically want the alternative side? Well, he said, what he said about the carnal mind, you guys. I'll just let you answer it. I ain't got to tell you. It's death. But the spiritual mind is what? Life and peace. See how he came a quickening spirit, and in him was life. See, it's that simple. It's not even hard to figure out or anything, or to struggle or strife. You're dead as long as you're carnally minded. The flesh profiteth nothing, back to that point, but the spirit profiteth withal. Do y'all understand the difference between the two? One is unprofitable, and then one is profitable. So then you see in the world that there are many people who believe that by the things that they do, confirm that they're right with God. You see that there? That's what they think confirms it, by the things that they do. Well, the Israelites did that same thing, and they messed up. So if they messed up, then what do you think you need to do? Something different than what they did. And what did they do? They sought it by the works of the law. Do people actually understand what it means when it says works of the law? That means they did it by the carnal mind, fleshly. And so it didn't profit them anything. So they sought it by the works of the law and not, as it were, by faith. So they didn't enter in. See how simple that is? So then if your natural mind is going to want to do works of the law to please God. Once you figure out, I need to be pleasing God in order to be saved. So then you're going to try to do works with your hands. That's okay at first. See, it's your schoolmaster that's going to teach you how to be prepared to come to Christ. It's like a way of cleaning you up in preparation for Christ to actually teach you the truth. You got to get some of the junk off. You see, that's what the law do for you. It gets all of the junk and clutter all up off of you so you can see clear enough to know what is actually being called, what you're being called to do, which is honestly to love. You're called out of the world of carnality, which cannot love, to be a spiritual being who can do nothing but love. And once you do nothing but love, you now fulfill all the commandments of God, because all the commandments hang on to, which is love God and love your neighbor. So then how do I love God? Watch how the grandson going to show you how easy it is to do. How do I love God? I am, and then true words after you say I am. That's how you love God, because that's God's name. You see it? And part of the commandments is to not take his name in vain. So you prove you love him by taking his name in truth. In order to love him, you must know him. So in order to take his name in truth, you must know him. And if you can take his name in truth, you prove you know him. And you prove he's been revealed to you by the Son. You see that there? So now, once you come into this right relationship with the Father and become spiritually minded, now what is the work that you do? See, because there's two types of minds. And this is why people don't understand when I tell them the work that I do. They get all up in arms, they get all confused in every damn thing and get to scratching their noggin noodle saying, I don't understand. It doesn't even seem like you're doing any commandments of God. Okay, well then tell me when I break the commandments. Well, I can't. So then what does that mean? How can I not be doing the commands of God, but yet you can't accuse me of breaking his commands? Yeah, Neanderthal time, and y'all know it, little flockulators. Neanderthal time, you see it? So this wisdom that we messing with over here at the School of Marvelous Light, the world can't touch it. Yahusha made that clear. There's a separation. You see that? They can't touch us over here. They want to try to say that we're wicked. They want to try to say that we're dirty. They want to try to say that we got a demon. They want to try to say that we're wine bibbers. They want to try to say that we're gluttonous. They want to try to say, and they want to try to say, and they want to try to say. But what good does that do when you're standing on the rock of truth? It doesn't do any good to accuse me. I realize you're just the accuser of the brethren. But your ass been thrown down. See? Your ass been thrown down. See, you could have been throwed down, but that ain't good enough. Israelites, we like to throw shit, not throw. You see that there? So now, like I was saying, once you come into the spiritual mind, what is the work that you do? Because Christ says, take my yoke. If he's spirit, because the Bible said he came a quickening spirit, so there's no denying that he is the spirit, then that means that he said he got a yoke prepared for you, that once you take the carnal yoke off, he's going to put a spiritual yoke. So he's going to give you new work. See it? But people don't even know that. They don't even know the new work. They're still under the old yoke, even though the Bible talks about being broke free of that old one so that you can receive this new light and easy yoke. So now, what is my light and easy yoke that I do? I rest. I stand still. You see that there, little flockulators? Because I learned a mystery. He said he claimed the end from the beginning. So in the beginning, how did Adam get the thing that he sought, which was Eve? What could Adam do by the work of his hands to produce Eve? What could Adam do to prove to God that he was worthy enough and good enough to receive such a gift? He didn't do anything. All he actually did do was tell God what he wanted and why. He said he wanted a companion because he was lonely. See, I told you, that's man's job. You're a man or a woman, so that means that's your job. Male and female created he them and called their name man. So then if I say man, I'm speaking of all mankind. So then man and woman, listen up here. You tell God what you want and why you want it. Now, how it happens and when it happens, that's up to the Father. Can you accept that shit? Because if you're in the carnal mind, you cannot accept it. You're just going to get mad, rebellious, kick against the pricks, like he said, when you're in the carnal mind. That's all you do. And you persecute the truth of the light and easy yoke he's trying to put on you. I don't need men to tell me what to do when a harsh or a critical circumstance appears in my life. Yahusha tells me what to do. And he made it clear what to do. How many of you do what Yahusha said? So let me get this clear. You guys say you guys keep the commandments of God, but yet y'all don't actually do what Yahusha said do when you're living your life in everyday circumstances. When it comes to eating, do you do what Yahusha said to do? Or do you just focus on what it is you're eating? See that there? Or do you do what Yahusha said, which is to take no thought? Which one you do? Well, I ate biblically clean. Okay, but did you do what Yahusha said? Well, no. Well, then will God accept you? Because it was said, hear ye him. That's what Abba said. So if you want to please Abba, what do you need? Who do you need to hear? Who does the whole world need to hear, including you, in order to be pleasing to God? Because God said, gave us all a commandment, which was to hear him. That was Yahusha. So God wants us all to hear Yahusha. And if we all hear Yahusha and do what Yahusha said to do, then we shall all be pleasing to the Father. Because Abba said, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. So let me get this straight, guys. If Abba came to earth and appeared before all mankind and took one man out the earth and put him forth before people and said, look at this man right here. This man pleases me. And then God just disappeared. And that man was left standing there. If you were wise, what would you do? You would talk to that man and find out, what did you do to be pleasing to the Father so that I may be? Now, once he tells you what to do, are you going to run back to what you thought it was? How can you if you've now been baptized? Which he says he's going to baptize you with fire. Baptize means to wash you and purify and cleanse. So then if he's going to purify and cleanse, he's purifying you of your old thoughts and your old feelings concerning your life. And he's going to give you new thoughts and new feelings concerning your life. And that's what the grandson here is to talk about today. You see what I'm telling you all today? Now, it's up to you to whether you want to accept it, but I'm going to give you the proof because I often talk about it, but it don't do no good to just talk about it. It do real good to prove it. See what I'm saying? So we're going to prove it today. Now, I said go to Exodus 14, right? Let's read. Exodus 14, let's go to verse 11. And they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us to carry us forth out of Egypt? So what are the children of Israel saying to Moses? I'm going to go ahead and reignite my blunt here, my torch, and then I'm going to let you guys simmer on your answer, and then when I come back, you guys will answer it. The children of Israel are saying, why did you take us out of the carnal mind and bring us out here into this damn wilderness? The wilderness is where you learn to exhibit faith. It's where you learn God's grace and faith. That's where you learn it at. You can't provide anything for yourself with the work of your hands when you're in the wilderness. So then what's going to feed you? What's going to give you drink? What's going to sustain you? What will do it, guys? I'm asking you. If you were just dropped off in the Sahara Desert, right there in the middle, how would you survive? What could you do with the work of your hands to save your life? Okay, now what did Yahusha say? He who seeks to save his life shall lose it. But he who what? Give up his life shall find it. Give up means to have faith that there is someone who will provide for you, even though you do not do any works. This is why Yahusha said, look at the bird who does not work. He does not toil. He does not spin. Look at this flower who doesn't do any of that, but he got clothes. Look at this raven who does not work and go and punch in every day, but God feeds him. So then do you think God will feed you if you don't punch in every day? He feeds me. And I don't punch in. I used to back in 2016 and previous. But after 2016, he called me out and I went away and I went into a wilderness. And I thought, like the Israelites thought, how am I going to survive? I have children. I have this family and everything. How am I going to provide to take care of myself? Just like the Israelites thought, well, no work of my hands will do it. So it must be faith is going to have to do it. And since then, since 2016, I've been surviving on faith. Well, I'm still sitting here talking to you guys, aren't I? 2017, he called me on a 40-day fast out in the wilderness. Why? To increase my faith and to make me strong in the spirit. And I am. It's that simple. I'm not saying this prideful. I'm actually just telling the truth. It's like If you guys saw me, right, and we were carnally minded, and I said, I'm a black man, would you have any type of idea that I was trying to be deceitful? Or would you just say, okay, he's just telling me the truth? Now, I said carnal mind because that's actually not the truth, but you would believe I was telling you the truth. But if I said I was a white man, you probably think I was out of my damn mind or tripping or some shit, right? Because of the carnal mind's definitions it has put on things, you see? So watch this here, little flock. So they murmured. They said, what you bring us out here for? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone? So then what happened, little flock? When Moses came to deliver the children of Israel out of bondage, out of slavery, they said, leave us alone and let us stay here. I hope you guys can hear that. Can you hear it? The people you are sent to liberate are telling you to leave them alone. See, people think when liberation comes that everybody's going to be excited with great expectation waiting for it. No. I bear witness that most people do not have any idea that they're being saved and would rather be left the hell alone in their carnal state that they're in, where they feel comfortable. They do not want to be disrupted out of their slavery most of the time. So they're reading it. So then why is everybody so surprised about it? That's what we're reading, aren't we? All right, then. Watch this. Let us alone. Why? That we may serve the Egyptians, so we can still be slaves. See? For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians, to be slaves, than that we should die in the wilderness. See? When you slave, your slave master gives you a little bit of rations. You know, he may give you some corn. The nigga may give you some oatmeal, a bowl of oatmeal to share between 4 of you. He may give you a cot to sleep in and some slave quarters in the back of his plantation there. So that makes you say, well, shit, at least I have somewhere to sleep and I have something to eat every day. Now that I'm out here in the wilderness, see what I'm telling you all? I could obtain my bread by my work, is what I'm saying. But now that I'm out here learning a new way of living that doesn't require work of my hands because I can't, because I'm in the wilderness, then how in the shit am I supposed to have these things like a cot to sleep in and a fucking meal to eat when I'm staring at sand and nothingness? It was better for me to sleep in my slave quarters. See what I'm trying to say to you, little flock? Some people that have been incarcerated or in jail, they feel like it's better for them to sleep in that cot every day, to have warm meal every day served up to them, and to stay there than to be out on the street having to figure out how to get those things for themselves. See? So watch. And Moses, now watch what Moses says. Moses said unto the people, fear ye not. Watch this. So he said, don't be afraid. Now who that sound like? That sound like Yahusha, don't it? Was Moses a shepherd unto the flock? Yes, he was. So then Yahusha calls his the little flock. So then he's a shepherd. He calls himself the good shepherd, right? That's right. Do I call you guys the flockulators? Yes, because when God sends a deliverer, that's how he addresses the people. It's always the same. It never changes. You can check every credential if you want to, and you'll see that what the grandson be saying is 100% the truth. Because the spirit of truth speaks. I don't have to say nothing then, do I? I don't even have to do anything but present myself and let the spirit talk. We read that yesterday. Take no thought of what you shall say. And I just like today, I don't know what I'm going to say. But I'm talking, aren't I? All right then. See, little flock? It's called faith. I believe him. I believe he will justify me if I open my mouth to speak his word. See? Watch. And Moses said, fear ye not, and stand still. Stop again. What did the grandson say in his video yesterday? I said, I'm going to point something out. And if I can get witnesses, 2 or 3, then a thing has been established, according to Abba's word, right? So what did I establish? that our power and our strength was to stand still and to not be afraid, but rather be calmly happy. And then I used Yahushua on that boat as my first example, and then I gave you others. We're going to read some today to prove the point even further, because you guys don't know anything about standing still. That's not what you learn when you're in the carnal mind and when you're in the carnal world that you grew up in. You actually do not know anything about standing still and that it produces anything. There's no way you can know it when all you think is work. The work of your hands produces good things in your life. That's what you've been taught. So then there's no way you can believe that standing still and fearing not will cause these Egyptians to all be destroyed who are chasing you. Well, let's see. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still, and what? See the salvation of the Lord. The salvation of who? The salvation, which means saving, of I am. So then who saves? I am does. Now, this doesn't do me any good to tell you that unless I have a testimony to prove it. I've given you guys my testimony, and I'll give it again here. I was locked up. I know y'all who know this be like, I know, 90 days, man. I know. Yes, I was locked up. They told me I was going to do at least 90 days, a minimum of 90 days. Possibly more, but a minimum of 90 days, I won't go nowhere. That's what they told me. But I said I am free. And then I got out without even doing half of the days they told me I would do. So then did they tell me the truth? No, they were proven to be liars. Why? Because I took the Father's name in truth and I believed him. So then who delivered me? I am did. Now what did I have to do for him to deliver me? What works did I have to do? Fear not and stand still. That's the spiritual work that's light and easy to do. Isn't it light and easy to just stand still and not do anything? Yeah, it is. But men think that's too damn light and easy. Couldn't be true. We've been believing that things that are too good to be true, they're just not true then. Yahushua's truth is just true. He said it's easy and light, and I'm a witness that it is. I tested his theory. I laid there and I called upon the name of I am, and I said, I am free. And in 30 some odd days, they said, hey, you there, sitting there with that Bible teaching those men, you. I said, yes. They said, you're free to go. And I said, I ain't got to do nothing or no. No, you're free to go. So my charges were dropped. Now watch this, little flock. This is another piece of information that you may want to understand. It may benefit you in life. I had wrote on a piece of blue, what you call that with that little sticky piece on top, a sticky tab or whatever you want to call it. I wrote on that, I am free. I am in Detroit. Charges are dropped. Now I was in Ohio at that time. I am free. I am in Detroit. My charges are dropped. Now, I wrote that on a sticky note the first day I got in there, and I put it under my cot, and I went to sleep on top of that. It didn't say I want to be or God, please help me be. It said I am. I'm free. I am in Detroit. Now, I'm laying in a cot in Ohio. I'm saying I am in Detroit. Am I seeking what I want by works or by faith? What do you say? Now, what is the works that prove my faith? My resting, my standing still and fearing not that it will happen. And I didn't. I just rested. I stayed on that vibration. I'm free. I don't care what these niggas try to say to me because I am simply free. And I stayed free and then I got free. So then what the hell you niggas want to tell me about this power I keep telling you about? You can't tell me it doesn't work. So then what power do you have to tell to the people that works? I got some. Do you? Now, the thing about it is, there's only one power. So then I have told you of the power. So someone else on the earth, in order to prove me, the grandson of right thought, to be a liar to you all, someone has to come with some other power other than the power of I am that I have actually implemented and used and bear testimony before you all that it works. Now watch. To prove to you all that I knew it would work before I did it. This is super faith, what I'm describing. I was also locked up with another person. That person got out the same night. I was still in the cell. When they walked past my cell waving at me because they were leaving, I held my arm up as if to say, I am strong, like I was making a muscle with my bicep. And I pointed to it, and I put my hoodie back on and laid back. So then, guys, I put my hoodie back on and laid back. That means you what? You're resting. You're calmly happy, and I'm strong. That's what the symbol of my putting my bicep up was. And that person went out and left. And 30 some odd days later, they saw me and embraced me and said, "You're home." Yeah, I told you I was a long time ago. Them niggas tried to stop something, but it was just vanity. Now, I said 30 some odd days. Now, let's just say that within the 20th day, I gave out hope. Then would I have gotten free? Probably not. See? Well, actually, probably nothing. I wouldn't have got free because I doubted. And anything done with doubt is what? It's sin. You see that there, little flock? It's impossible to please God without believing in something you can't see. Like when I said I am free and I am in Detroit and the charges are dropped. When I left, I didn't have to go back to court. They didn't summon me back. They didn't care about me anymore because the charges were dropped. Why? Because I said that they were in the name of I am. So what do you guys want to say here? That's what I'm trying to say. Now, I'm going to continue reading these scriptures, and if they continue to jive, then you guys are in hot water, okay? You got to make a choice now is what I'm saying. Moses said unto the people, "Fear ye not, stand still, see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show you." So that means he going to do some work. All your work to do is to watch it. Isn't that clear here, or am I lying? So a big-ass army is coming down to destroy you, and you're told to fear not and stand still? Does your carnal mind accept that? No, it doesn't. But the spiritual mind is life and peace, and so it will accept that because it's a life and peaceful situation. I'm not dead. I'm alive and peaceful while I'm alive. So then what can this nigga do to me outside of me? He can't do nothing. The kingdom of heaven is within you. And as soon as you find that power, then it will set you free from all your fear, and then you will not fear. And you'll fear ye not and stand still like the grandson do, like he did in that prison cell. That's why them niggas may as well not even try to put a cuff on me anymore. Don't you realize how stupid it is to do that to a man who's going to simply I am his way out the cuffs? Don't you realize how stupid it is to try to bind somebody who cannot be bound? I cannot be bound. Don't you want that feeling? I cannot be bound. I cannot be put into any type of strait. Don't you want that? Okay, well, I'm telling you how to get it. There's only one way to get it. The way of Christ. And I've proven in my video yesterday and so many other videos before that Christ, that was the way he did it. He feared not and he stood still. And I'm going to prove it more as we continue to read. Now watch. "Which he will show you today, for the Egyptians whom you have seen today, you shall see them again no more forever." So those Egyptians that's coming down that hill, foaming at the mouth, riding in chariots and everything with a bow drawn, ready to let that shit go. What is going to happen to them all? They're all going to be destroyed by Abba, not by you or anyone else. I am will destroy them. I am is who destroys the enemies. So if I am is calm, then how can your enemy do anything to you? He can't. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now watch. Watch this. Verse 14. "I am shall fight for you, and you shall hold your" what? You shall hold your what? The spiritual mind is life and what? Peace. That's what I'm trying to say to you all. Now the city of peace is translated in Hebrew as what? Jerusalem. See? You will have the new Jerusalem who comes down like a bride adorned for her groom. The groom is the thoughts. When you think the right thoughts, which are, I am safe, I am protected, I am resting, I am calm, and I am peaceful, then the feelings that match that must come. What kind of feelings do you think come when you say words like that? Probably peaceful feelings do. That's called Jerusalem, which is that bride coming down from heaven. Heaven is right thought. So when you think heavenly thoughts, or seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, the thoughts that are right thoughts, when you seek them and you find them, now you find a bride that fit them. See what I'm trying to say? You find the feelings that you're looking for. So now you got rest for your what, little flock? The same thing Yahushua said he came to give you rest for, your soul. Now, we're going to keep on reading here. Verse 14 said, I am shall fight for you. So who's doing the fighting? Skeet-and-deedly, can you fuck round with thee? I don't think that you can, so just put your sword away. I'll knock that shit out your head, and I'll hit you with a stone right before your damn head, and then you will fall, and your ass will be dead. Do y'all like that song? Because I just made it up just now. You're going to sing new songs, and I sing plenty of them because I'm joyful. I'm joyful because I have already won the battle. I am has already done it. That's the beauty of I am. He's not going to do. He will do. It's not he should do, or not he would do or could do. He is doing. That's the beauty of him. And it ain't nothing too hard for him. Isn't that what you read? It's nothing impossible for I am. I am can do anything. So then when you're in some circumstance, they try to say you are that, just tell them niggas that they're lying on God. Can't you understand it? God cannot be thrown in prison. So then why do you think you are in prison? Why? Why do you think you're addicted? I am cannot be addicted to a damn thing. So then why do you think you are? I am cannot be afraid. So then why do you think you are? Because you take the Lord's name in vain. And when you take the Lord's name in vain, what happens to you? You become vain. See how simple it is to understand. All right. So who's going to do the fighting for you? Abba does. So when Abba does the fighting, what do? You chill out. Go to 2 Chronicles chapter 20. 2 Chronicles chapter 20. We're going to start at verse, let's see, verse 5. And Jehoshaphat stood in the congregation of Judah and Jerusalem in the house of the Lord before the new court and said, watch this, O Lord, God of our fathers, art not thou God in heaven, and rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen? And in thine hand is there not power and might? What spirit did he give us? Those two ingredients? Yeah. So see that? Power and might, so that none is able to withstand thee. So who is able to withstand I am? He said none. I'm concurring with him that none can. I've used it and saw it. So I don't need anybody to tell me that it can't. You're just lying when you say it can't. So like I said, guys, how come you don't feel powerful when other people talk to you about God? You feel temporarily powerful and that shit dwindles off, and then you need to get a re-up. How come when you hear this truth, you don't need a re-up? You heard it, and now all you got to do is do it. And once you start doing it, you see the power, and you don't stop. It's just the way it is. Are not thou our power, who didst drive out the inhabitants of this land before thy people Israel, and gavest it to the seed of Abraham, thy friend, forever? And they dwelt therein, and have built thee a sanctuary therein for thy name. I am, see, saying, if, watch this, if, when evil cometh upon us as the sword. So if something comes to your life that's called evil, any evil comes to you, brother or sister who's listening to this, if any evil comes to you, examples like the sword, or judgment, or pestilence, or famine, we, what? Stand before this house and in thy presence, for thy name is in this house, I am is in this temple, and cry unto thee in our affliction, I am free. I am safe and I am protected. See? Then you will hear and help. Stop. I told you. It's not like you can do it and he won't respond. He will respond if you do it. So then why the fuck are you niggas not doing this shit today? Can you tell me today or what? You might say, grandson, why are you so amped up and why are you talking like this? If you knew what I knew, you would talk like this right now. Your voice would sound like a trumpet and you would spare not how a nigga feel about that shit. You would stand up for your people. You would show them the power that's available to them. You would rise them up out of their lower state. And why would you do it? Because you love them. There is no other reason why a man does the things that I do on a daily basis. It is because I keep the commands of my God by loving I am more than anything else and by teaching my brother about I am more than anything else like I am today. Can you say it otherwise? And can you say that the Father's name is not I am? So then get the fuck out of my way, because I'm coming through trampling anything that comes against the truth, because I want my people liberated, and they shall be unto the last one. And not any of you damn devils or liars are going to stop it. So what do you think you can do? Besides, sit in the back row where you can barely even see what the fuck we're doing over here at the School of Marvelous Light. Setting the captives free. I've been anointed to do it, so I'm doing it. Can you tell me I ain't? I did. He will hear and help. Verse 10. And now, see? So what I'm going through right now, Abba, whatever you going through, little flock, behold, the children of Ammon and Moab and Mount Seir, Edom, whom thou wouldest not let Israel invade. Abba wouldn't let Israel invade them when they came out of the land of Egypt, but they turned from them and destroyed them not. So Israel didn't destroy them. Watch this. Behold, I say how they reward us. Look what a nigga do when you give him grace. He turns right around and gets built up and go and get some more friends with him, and he comes back looking to beat your ass any damn way. That's what happened to Israel, as you can see. Now watch. Behold how they reward us to come and cast us out of your possession, which you have given us to inherit. O our power, you see that? Will you not judge them? For we have no might. Stop. There is no work of our hands physically and fleshly that we can do against this great company that cometh against us. Neither know we what to do. Stop again. Look at the humility of this king. We don't know what to do, Father. I don't know what to do to get away from these enemies who come around me and plot constantly against me. Everywhere I turn, there's some stressful thing waiting for me to come depressed. Every time I turn around, there's something trying to grasp for my psychological body. Like some shit, some horror to be wanted after constantly. You see it? I don't know what to do. But our eyes are upon thee, he said. But our eyes are upon thee. I am. You see it? And all Judah stood before I am, with their little ones, their wives, their children. Then upon Jaziel, the son of Zechariah, the son of Benaiah, the son of Jael, the son of Mattaniah, a Levite, the son of Asaph, came the spirit of I am in the midst of the congregation. And he said, now the spirit is there. Let's see what the spirit say. And if it coincides with what Moses said, let's see. Hearken ye all Judah and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, and thou King Jehoshaphat. Thus saith I am unto you, be not afraid. Do you hear it? Do you hear it? Be not afraid nor dismayed by reason of how many niggas it is that's coming at you. Don't worry about that shit, for the battle is not yours, but it is the power of I am to triumph over any enemy that come against you. So try his name today and take it in truth and watch him do it for you. I'm telling you with my whole heart right now, can you not hear it, Israel? I don't have no reason to have any guile. If I did, I couldn't talk like this to you. I'm telling you with a pure heart that if you call upon the name of I am, I don't give a fuck what they say about you. You will triumph over them niggas today if you believe it. If you believe it, you have faith the size of a mustard seed. The battle is not yours, but it is God's. Tomorrow, go down against them. Behold, they come up by the cliff of Ziz, and you shall find them at the end of the brook before the wilderness of Jeruel. You see that? Jeruel 16:17. You shall not need to fight in this battle. Do you hear this or what? You shall not need to fight. Is it the same dadgum thing that they heard over there by the wilderness when their Egyptians were coming? Yeah, it's the same message. The Spirit always gives. So if the Spirit is speaking to you today, what would he tell you? I told you that. See? Watch. You shall not need to fight in this battle. Set yourselves. Here it come to foot sweep any liar. Stand ye what? Still and see what? The salvation of I am with you, O Judah and Jerusalem. Fear not, nor be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, for I will be with you. So he said you won't have to fight. Don't be dismayed. Don't fear, but stand still. Now, this is 2 times when they were in a tumultuous, scary-ass situation, and they were told to stand still and watch. Now, what in the hell you think I'm going to do? Listen to you, nigga? Or listen to what the spirits say to do? I've already done what the spirits say to do, and I saw the salvation. So shut your ass up. I'm tired of hearing niggas talk about what salvation is when they don't even know the power, nor do they have a testimony to tell you of how they've used it and worked it. So then how the hell do you know what to follow? I'm giving you the protocol so clear that you know exactly what to do. I'm going to tell it to you again in case your ass is wondering. When you get into a scary situation, don't fear. But matter of fact, think of what you do want, accept that that's what it is, and then rest in it, and then you'll have it. Now, I told you in clarity, I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't want to hear nothing else. I done told you in clarity. 1 Samuel chapter 17, let's keep going, verse 40. And he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook. Do y'all know who choosing these 5 smooth stones? That would be David. David is choosing these stones because he's about to go to war. Now, let's see. And he put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even a scrip. And his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. He walked right up on his ass, see? And the Philistine came on to draw near unto David, and the man that bare the shield went before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair countenance. He says, a handsome-ass young cute nigga. What kind of warrior you niggas sending to fight me, a mighty Goliath, a 10-foot tall madman who will destroy armies with his spear? And you send a child to fight me? Do y'all see it today, little flock? But looks can be deceiving when you judge outward appearance, you stinking-ass heathen, Neanderthal-ass nigga that's about to get his bell rang. Let's see. And when the Philistine looked, he disdained him, for he was cute and shit, right? And the Philistine said to David, am I a dog? Yeah, you are. But let's continue. Am I a dog that thou comest to me with a staves, which means that staff he had? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. And the Philistine said to David, come to me, and I will give your flesh unto the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field. Stop. So what did the enemy of David say to him? Did the enemy say, yeah, David, you're going to kill me. Yes, David, you're so strong. Yes, David, I can see why your God chose you to fight me, because look at you. Is that what he's saying? No, he's actually saying, look at your puny, stupid, weak ass. You're coming to fight a champion, and you're nothing but a weak-ass shepherd boy that need to be out there with them fucking sheep instead of on this battlefield, but here you are. So I'm going to make light work of you and kill your ass dead real quick and let the birds come down and feast upon your stinking, dirty-ass carcass. Am I right, little flock? Is that what he's saying? All right, then. Watch this here. Then said David to that Philistine, so now David is talking, you come to me with a sword. What did David say what did the Bible say earlier that God will protect you from if you call the name of I am? From the sword, pestilence, all kind of hardship, right? So he said, you come to me with a sword. So can the sword defeat David? No, if David stands in I am, the sword can't do a damn thing but wither. So continuing, you come to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, all kind of weapons and shit. But I come to thee in what? Watch! In the name of the Lord of hosts. What is his name, little flock? I am. See? The power of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. This day will I am deliver you into my hand, and I will smite thee, and take your head from you, and I will give the carcasses of the host of your whole fucking army this day, and to the birds of the air, and the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel, and his name is I am. You're gonna know that shit today, when I triumph over you, just like the grandson of right thought told you happens when you take his name in truth. I told ya. If the curse is you take it in vain, you suffer. What happens if you take it in truth? All right then. Go to verse 47. And all this assembly shall know that I am saveth, not with sword and spear, for the battle is I am's, and he will give you into our hands. What'd I say? He don't give a fuck about a spear. He don't give a shit about a laser. He don't give a shit about a CERN. He don't give a shit about technology. He don't give a shit about a drone. He don't give a shit about none of that shit you niggas come up with. I don't give a damn if it's a stealth bomber flying over above radar. Abba sees it and he will swat that shit out the sky like a bitch getting smacked by a pimp because she didn't pay up, bitch. Pay up, niggas. Y'all ain't got nothing you got that Abba won't any damn way, so you may as well give it all up because there's nothing you got that's going to save you in the day of your calamity. I already told the little flock was going to save them, but your rebellious ass niggas don't believe it, so your ass going to suffer and you're not going to know how to get out of your strait. You're not going to know how to feed yourself. You're not going to know how to deliver yourself from prison. You're not going to know how to get yourself away from the sword and when it comes for you. You're not going to know how to get away from pestilence when it comes for you. You're not going to know how to deliver yourself. And you know why you don't know? Because you take the Lord's name in vain. That doggone simple. But when a battle comes on, we don't never need to fight. That's what I keep telling y'all. See how it's there again? See how it's there again? All right, then. Now, before we end this message, I'm going to give y'all a tidbit of wisdom from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11. It's going to make all of this come together like a ice cream pie or some shit. Ecclesiastes 11, verse 1. Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Stop. What does that even mean, little flock? You got to have eyes to see and ears to hear to know this. You have to have wisdom to understand this, what's being said here. Correct? What does it mean to cast your bread upon the waters? It means to, like when I said, I am in Detroit, that's my bread. I am free and I am, the charges are dropped. That's the bread that I put upon the water. Now keep listening and let's see if the grandson's just saying stupid stuff or if he's actually using sound wisdom like a serpent. Let's see. Cast your bread upon the waters. I am free. I am in Detroit and my charges are dropped. For thou shalt find it after many days. It took about 30-something days, and then I found it. I found what I sought for. See, I did. It's not like I'm just telling you this story. I actually experienced it. So then I'm telling it to you. So then I did. Now watch. Give a portion to 7. So then while I was waiting for my bread to come back, I fed others. Didn't I say I was preaching when the actual security or the CO came and said, go ahead and leave? I was actually preaching when he tapped me on my shoulder, so to speak. See? And also to 8. For thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. See? If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. If the clouds be full of rain, what does it mean? It means if your mind is full of the thought that you have, then it will manifest itself in the 3D world for you. So my mind is, I am free, I'm in Detroit, my charges are dropped. My mind is full of that, so the rain must come. See how this is going here, little flock? And if the tree fall toward the south or toward the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be. What does it mean? It means that when you're in your secret place, deciding what it is you want, whatever you see happen there will also happen in your 3D. So if you're, for instance, like it says here, if you're in there manifesting what you want, that you're free, and you see a tree fall to the north in your mind, that will happen in the 3D exactly accordingly. So exactly what he's saying is, what you see there in your mind's eye is what you will experience in the 3D if you believe it. See? So there it shall be. He that observeth the wind shall not sow. The wind is the 3D world. So if you do not plant, or as he said, sow, if you do not plant your idea because you're paying attention to how things look to the 3D or your personal circumstances, in my case, it would be, well, I'm actually in jail and I actually have on these clothes and have these cuffs on. So then that means that I am in jail. I refuse to believe that wind. So I sowed, I am free. Isn't this perfectly clear? Isn't it connecting like Legos? Okay, continuing. And he that regardeth the clouds, oh, it looks like something is coming, so I guess I can't get free. He shall not reap, which means you will not get the thing you sought for because you're looking at the 3D, and the 3D is designed to make you feel like it won't happen. That's why faith is the hope of the evidence not seen. See how it's going? Verse 5, watch this. As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit, see the how in the when? See it? You don't know that? Nor how the bones grow in the womb of her that is with child. You just simply can't see it, so you don't know. Even so, you knowest not the works of God who maketh all. See, you don't know how he will produce it, so stop looking at signs to tell you how or when something will happen. Can't you see it? Isn't it obvious to see? Watch. In the morning, sow thy seed. See, I am free. When you wake up in the morning, sow that seed. And in the evening, withhold not thy hand. Sow it again. I am free. In the morning and in the evening. Just stay in that vibration is what God's saying. Stay in that mindset. Don't listen to the wind. Don't listen to the waves. Don't listen to anything outside of yourself, but stay locked in on the thought that you have. For you knowest not whether shall prosper. What you did, what you sowed in the morning or evening. You don't know what brought the plant. You just know the plant grew because of your sowing. You don't know if it was a morning seed or an evening seed, but you sowed both. See it there, little flock. Either this or that. See, either seed. Or whether they both shall alike good, be alike good. They both may spring up a blessing for you. See? You see that there? So we'll go ahead on and stop there, little flock. If you're standing still and peaceful, then you can rest, knowing that the thing you seek for is already done. That causes you to have life in peace and stay in the spiritual mind. Isn't it obvious to see that today, little flock? All right, then. So receive this rest for your soul. Now, this message that I've given today and this message that I do teach, where do you guys think it came from? Other than I am, which is Almighty God. So then where did I come from? It's so obvious and easy to see. I am an ensign, and ensigns are easy to see. My light is shining, so it gives light to the whole house of people who come around me, doesn't it? Well, he said, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good what? Works. And praise your Father which is in heaven. So the good works that I do is set men free, like I'm doing today, aren't I? Siloam Nisraelah.